Welcome back to Springfield, Missouri, everybody, for the Missouri State High School Activities Association Class II State Championship game between the Brookfield Lady Bulldogs and the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates. I'm Corey Riggs, and welcome inside the Killian Sports Complex here in Springfield, Missouri for this Class II championship game between Pleasant Hope and Brookfield. It should be a good one. The stands here at the Killian Softball Complex are black and blue. Black for the Lady Pirates and blue for the Brookfield Lady Dogs. Talk about how these two teams got here today to the championship round in the MSHSAA Class II Championship. Brookfield opened up their playoff run with a 13-2 victory and then went on the road to face Fatima. They defeated Fatima 12-4 and then a nail-biter yesterday here in Springfield. They just got by Kelly 4-3. Not allowed Brookfield to get on the board here to play for the championship. Then for the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates, this is a team that's been here before. A year ago, they were undefeated and fell in this game to Palmyra yesterday. They got their revenge. They defeated Palmyra 7-4 and now have their chance at a state title. As we get underway here in the top of the first, the Brookfield Lady Bulldogs will bat first. They are the visiting team on the scoreboard. They will lead off with Alicia Frey, followed by Bailey Parks, and batting third, Alexis Lindsay. So we are just about ready to get started. The pitcher, Sarah Sigismund, delivers, and it's popped up and out. First pitch, first out for the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates as the the second baseman went back to make the play. Sigismund, the pitcher today for the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates, a 5'6" senior. Record of over 20 wins and only 2 losses this season. Her first offering now to Bailey Parks, the left fielder. Goes for a strike. Sigismund, the Pleasant Hope ace, an ERA of around 1.5, well over 120 strikeouts on the season. She rocks and fires. That one fouled off again into the back of the net for Parks. So they count 0-2 now. Bailey Parks facing Sarah Sigismund. Parks now batted .325 during the regular season. This pitch outside. Sigismund wastes one here, make the count 1-2. Bailey Parks, a 5'7" sophomore. She plays left field. She stands back in the batter's box. Winds and fires does Sigismund. That one back up off the net and foul again. As Parks is definitely getting her money's worth to start here, seeing all of Sigismund's pitches. Something you want early from the coaching staff for the Brookfield Lady Bulldogs. The Lady Bulldogs are coached by Julie Reese and are on an 8-game winning streak coming into this championship Saturday. Another foul ball off the bat of Parks comes into the netting here at the Killian Softball Complex. Elisa Frey popped out to start the top of the first inning. Sigismund now rocks and fires another foul ball up into the net, and the pitch count is on the rise for Sigismund, and we're just in the top of the first inning. We told you this Pleasant Hope team was riding an undefeated season a year ago when they ran into Palmyra in this championship round, and there's a strikeout now, the first of the day, for Sigismund as she sits down Bailey Parks. Palmyra defeated Pleasant Hope 6-2 in that championship game a year ago. Brookfield now. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Sigismund fires. That one fouled off and right into the ankle of number 5, Alexis Lindsay. She's the third baseman for Brookfield. Looks like Julie Reese is going to come and take a look at her. Probably a chance for her to walk this off here. That first pitch fouled off, so a strike. 0-1 the count, 2 outs. As you see there on the replay, right into the shin, just no protection there. And that would make anybody hobble around a little bit. Pleasant Hope now fires one. There's a foul. Looks like that's going to drift out of play and into the dugout. So the count's still 0-2. Killian Stadium here at the softball complex holds about 1,200. We are real close to that number for this Class 2 matchup. It is packed. Sigismund now fires. It's popped up over the head of the second baseman. It'll be a base hit. The ball is bobbled by the right fielder, and Alexis Lindsay is on with a 2-out single. Alexis Lindsay batted .274 over the course of the regular season, and she gets on here. The first hit allowed by Sigismund and Pleasant Hope. Now she'll have to face number 11, the shortstop, Natalie Wheeler. Wheeler fouls off a fastball from Sigismund. Natalie Wheeler, a .356 hitter over the course of the regular season. She's down in the count early, 0-1 to Sarah Sigismund. Runner at first base, 2 outs. Here as we get underway in this Class 2 championship game. Sigismund rocks and fires. That one fouled off again. And these Lady Bulldogs, I'm telling you, they get their money's worth when they come to the dish. They're all very defensive at the plate. They're not taking a lot of pitches, but they're definitely fouling a lot off. Standing in the on-deck circle for the Lady Bulldogs, the catcher, Megan Kearns. So Sigismund now spins, fires a comebacker past the mound out to center field, and it's a base hit for Wheeler. Wheeler with a base hit. She's on at first. Alexis Lindsay goes to second. And a little bit of a 2-out rally here for the Brookfield Lady Dogs. There you see it go right back through the pitcher's circle. Now coming to the plate is Megan Kearns. So what can Sigismund and the Lady Pirates do here? 2 on, 2 out. Now they've got to face the catcher, Megan Kearns. Kearns fouls one off into the back of the net. Megan Kearns, a 5'5" sophomore. Sigismund, the pitcher, wearing number 9. Kearns wearing the number 9 as well. 0-1 the count now. Sigismund turns, fires. That one's going to be low. A ball called. 1-1 the count. And the Lady Bulldogs here trying to get a 2-out rally to start this one. Kearns will step back in. She batted .268 over the course of the season with 8 RBIs. Can she get another RBI here? Nice pitch that time by Sigismund on the inside corner. She runs the count to 1-2. She struck out Bailey Parks, the second batter, but then has given up 2 singles to Lindsay and Wheeler. Runners at first and second. 2 outs here in the top of the first. There's a foul ball off the end of the bat toward the Lady Bulldog dugout. We'll stay at 1-2. Need to mention our officials for this game, our Class 2 championship game. Behind the plate today is Bob Power. Over at first base is Chuck Snow. And Gary Langhorst man's third. Here's a pitch, popped out to left field, high up into the sky and down into the glove. A nice play that time by the left fielder. And Pleasant Hope is able to get out of the jam. They give up 2 hits, but no runs does Sigismund, and we'll go ahead and go to the bottom of the first. Scoreless here in the Class 2 championship game. Get ready to get our first look at the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates. The Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates are coached by Jim Flora. They come into today's game with a record of 27-2. Their batting order, the catcher will hit first, wearing number 22, Caitlin Evans. Second, it'll be Corey Hillenberg, the second baseman. Third, it'll be number 1, Carrie Hillenberg, the shortstop. Batting fourth, cleanup, number 7, Haley Richardson at third base. Then Elizabeth Mosley in right field, and Sarah Sigismund wearing number 9, the pitcher, batting sixth. Batting seventh, number 27, the DP, Lindsay Van Tassel. Batting 12th, the first baseman, Haley Hillenberg. Next, number 11, Madeline Freeman, rounding out the batting order for the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates. The right fielder, number 5, Shelby Richardson. If you hear me say Hillenberg over and over again, it's because there's 3 young women with that name in the starting lineup, 4 on the roster. It's a family affair when it comes to softball in Pleasant Hope, and that's going to be shown well today on the field. Warming up, pitching for the Lady Bulldogs is Samantha Overton. Overton will be in the pitcher's circle for Brookfield here to face Caitlin Evans. Overton, a 5'4" junior with a record of 14-4 during the regular season and an ERA of just over 2. She sets, and we're underway here in the bottom of the first. That pitch low and inside for a ball. So Overton's first offering outside. Catlin Evans, the catcher for Pleasant Hope, digs in. Second pitch coming now. That one fouled off, up, still maybe in play. The first baseman makes a play on it. A great job by Jacqueline Weidert. Jacqueline Weidert at first base, the sophomore, drifts over on the foul ball and is able to make a great grab. You see it there, a gazelle-like leap for Weidert. She makes the play. Now coming to bat for Pleasant Hope, it's Corey Hillenberg, the second baseman. That one over and low for a ball, so 1-0 the count, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Corey Hillenberg steps back in. The pitch fouled off, and another one fouled off down at the ankles, but looks like Hillenberg is okay. Corey Hillenberg, a 5'2" sophomore, did well with the bat in her hand this season, a batting average of over .438. She had 1 home run coming into the postseason. There's one knocked off the end of the bat, drifting to the right field, and the catch is made. Catch is made by the right fielder, number 3. That's Paige Clausen. So 9 unassisted on the pop out for Hillenberg. Like I said, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but now batting third for Pleasant Hope, it's number 1, Carrie Hillenberg. She plays shortstop. The left-hander steps in. There's a pitch, and she turned on that one in a hurry and sent it down the first base side foul. She got around on that one in a hurry. Carrie Hillenberg, the senior, 5'4", batted over .554 on the season. Just a huge number. So here we are, 0-1 the count to Hillenberg. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first inning in the Class II championship game. That pitch knocked down the third base line, a little bit of trouble. Throw at first, and she's safe. After 2 pop-outs, Carrie Hillenberg able to get a single and get on base for the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates. So now coming up, batting cleanup number 7, Haley Richardson, the third baseman. Lady Bulldogs had a little bit of a rally with 2 outs earlier. What does Pleasant Hope have in store? Haley Richardson, a 5'6" senior. This team just hits well. Pleasant Hope bats over .417 as a team. Richardson, another reason why. Haley Richardson bats .432. She didn't have a home run this year, did have 29 RBIs. That was second most on the team, only behind Carrie Hillenberg. But now she's down in the count, 0-2 to Overton. Overton wants to finish this inning now, but she shakes off the catcher. Here's the delivery. She winds and fires. That one gets torched down the left field line and come close to hitting our Niles Media Group production trailer. That one got over there in a hurry. Count still 0-2 now. Runner at first is Carrie Hillenberg. Richardson now back into the box. Overton gets her sign, delivers. This one hit to center field. It's going to get down, and going for extra bases is Hillenberg. Hillenberg makes it to third safely. Richardson will have to stop at first. Back-to-back singles for Pleasant Hope. So 2 hits and 2 outs in the inning, and now runners at the corners. As you see, that one got down right in front of the center fielder. That was Elisa Frey, unable to make a play on it. So now coming to the plate for Pleasant Hope, the right fielder, number 4, Elizabeth Mosley. So Mosley, another left-hander, will step in. Can she get a runner home from third? Overton gets her first pitch over for a strike. Elizabeth Mosley, a 5'3" senior. Bats left and throws left. Another great hitter on this team, batted .463. She knows how to put the ball in play. Overton now with the 0-1 count, gives one up. That one shot to the left field, but it's caught. The left fielder able to get under it, Bailey Parks, and we get out of the first inning scoreless in between these two teams in the Class 2 state championship game. A great start for Brookfield and Pleasant Hope. So at the end of one for Pleasant Hope, 2 hits, 2 runners left on base. Brookfield had 2 hits in the first inning as well. Back out to the mound, the pitcher's circle, be Sarah Sigismund for Pleasant Hope. Everyone here at MSHSAA.TV wants to give special thanks to our friends at the Touchstone Energy Cooperative Missouri and Farmers Insurance for their roles in presenting this MSHSAA Championship event. Be sure to support these important partners who make students' education and citizenship a priority. Well, Pleasant Hope getting back to work here, warming up. And it is warming up here in Springfield, sitting in the press box here at the Killian Softball Complex. The sun starting to beat in through the windows, and it's getting warm in the press box here in a hurry. I may have needed to bring my sunscreen today. Well, let's see if we can get back to action here. And the pitcher for the Brookfield Lady Bulldogs, Samantha Overton, will be first up here in the top of the second inning. Overton takes the Sigismund offering back out to center field. Underneath it, and it's caught. A pop out to the center fielder that time. Madeline Freeman goes under it. And 1 pitch, 1 out for Sigismund, who will now face off against the second baseman, number 22, Ashley Kearns.
Ashley Kearns, 2 big hits and a sacrifice yesterday in that 7-0 win. Here's the pitch.
So the first pitch from Sigismund, outside for a ball. Ashley Kearns, a 5'6" senior. Batted just a shade under 200 over the course of the regular season. She fouls that one off and into the Pleasant Hope dugout. So the count 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the second. Sigismund has 1 strikeout so far as we're into the second inning here in Springfield. That pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Ashley Kearns. Kearns swings and misses, and that'll even the count at 2-2. A big cut that time by Kearns. Not a power hitter, only about 5 RBIs over the course of the year. So 2-2 the count now. 1 out for Brookfield. Sigismund turns, spins. There's one that's going to dribble up the third base line. Sigismund has it. The throw to first is not in time. Nice job by the first baseman to lean out for it, but Ashley Kearns is able to leg out the single. She beat the ball to first base. There you see Sigismund make a move. The throw is just not in time. Kearns beat it by a heartbeat. Jacqueline Weidert now, the first baseman for Brookfield, comes to the plate. She wears number 10. Sigismund, her throw on the outside corner, a called strike, so it's 0-1 to Weidert. 0-1 and 1 out, runner at first base now in the form of Ashley Kearns. Jacqueline Weidert, a 5'6" sophomore, has a home run and about 10 RBIs on the season, but she couldn't catch up with that fastball from Sigismund. The count now 0-2. So Weidert going to have to get a little defensive here in this at bat as she's behind in the count already. She chokes up on the bat. Here's an offering inside. Did she go around? No. Pitch high and inside. The appeal down to first base ump, Chuck Snow. She did not go, so the count remains at 1-2. Kearns stands at first. Couple of practice swings by Ashley Kearns. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss and a strikeout for Sigismund, her second of the day. Jacqueline Weidert goes down swinging, and that'll bring to the plate number 3, the right fielder, Paige Clausen. So 2 outs, a runner at first base. That's Ashley Kearns. Sigismund will go back to work now. 2 outs, looking for a third, and there's a called strike on the outside corner. Nice placement on a fastball that time for Sigismund as she faces Clausen. Clausen, a 5'5" junior. Batted almost 240 during the year. There's another pitch called, and they're definitely giving Bob Powers, giving the corner there to Sigismund. A nice, well-placed pitch on the outside. So Clausen down 0-2. Here's the pitch. That one popped up and off and over the press box. So 0-2, still the count, 2 outs with a runner at first. Sigismund digs in against Clausen. Clausen looking to advance the runner. She pops up. It's drifting out to center field. There's 3 Lady Pirates back there, and the right fielder makes the play. It's Shelby Richardson comes in to close out the inning. So 1 hit in that inning, no runs, no errors, and we go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless between the Brookfield Lady Bulldogs and the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates. Sarah Overton will go back to work for the Bulldogs. Coming up in this inning should be Elizabeth Mosley, Sarah Sigismund, and Lindsay Van Tassel for Pleasant Hope. Pleasant Hope came into the year with a record of 27-2 underneath head coach Jim Flora. Another championship appearance for them. They were here in 2009. They were here a year ago against then the 29-2 Palmyra team under coach Joe Brandenburg. They lost that game 6-2. Pleasant Hope was perfect coming into that game, so they exercised some demons yesterday, dumping Palmyra in the semifinal. But can they dispatch Brookfield to bring home a state championship? We will get back to it now. Sarah Sigismund ready to bat here in the bottom of the second. Overton winds and fires. That one fouled off, back into the net again for a strike. So Sarah Sigismund, the pitcher for Pleasant Hope. But with a bat in her hand, she does well. A .289 average, 14 RBIs over the course of the 2012 season. There's a swing and a miss, and Overton's ahead in the count now, 0-2. Overton yet to get a strikeout here. Could notch her first against Sigismund. That pitch on the outside corner called for a strike. And a consistent call there by our home plate umpire, Bob Power, as you see the placement on the outside corner there. Great replay. And Sigismund looking. Gets the backwards K. That first pitch, a ball now to Lindsay Van Tassel. She's the designated player wearing number 27. So Van Tassel gets ahead in the count early with a 1-0 count. 1 out. That's a strike called now. Right through the heart of the plate for Overton. Lindsay Van Tassel, a 5'7" senior. She batted .368 over the 2012 season. There's a swing and a miss. And Overton's fastball had some movement on it that time. The count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. We're still scoreless at the Killian Softball Complex. Overton now winds, delivers, and gets a second strikeout. Van Tassel goes down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for the Lady Bulldogs pitcher, Sarah Overton. Now batting number 12, Haley Hillenberg, the first baseman for Pleasant Hope. She looks at a ball. Overton pitched over 120 innings during the course of the regular season, an ERA of 2, and there's a shot down to third base, past the glove of the third baseman, and on with a single is Haley Hillenberg. The third of the 3 Hillenbergs gets the hit to extend the inning here with 2 outs. So Hillenberg on at first, and that'll bring Madeline Freeman, the center fielder, to the plate. She's a left-handed batter. Freeman, a 5'2" sophomore, looking to advance Hillenberg. Overton now fires outside for a ball. That one in the dirt a little bit. Backing out now is Freeman. Madeline Freeman batted .379 during the season. Part of that .417 total for the Lady Pirates, an impressive number. Overton again, high and inside that time for another ball. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Hillenberg stands at first base after her single down the third base line. Overton now sets and goes again. That pitch inside and another ball, so it's 3-0 now. Madeline Freeman being very patient at the plate. Overton kind of lost the strike zone here for a moment. See if she's got a delivery here, and she does. She finds it and puts it right down the middle of the road for a strike. So 3-1 now. Still a good count for Madeline Freeman. Can Pleasant Hope get something going with 2 outs? Overton now delivers. That one high and out. Oh, no. High and inside, but a strike called. So a full count now as Overton has battled back after getting behind 3-0 in the count. She's got this back to a full count, 3-2. The payoff pitch coming to Madeline Freeman. It's on its way. There's a hit over the head of the shortstop. She can't reach it. And they'll have runners at first and second to the Lady Pirates. A 2-out single for Madeline Freeman. 2 on, 2 outs. And coming to the plate now will be the right fielder, Shelby Richardson. 3 Hillenbergs and 2 Richardsons, and Pleasant Hope is about ready to bat through their order as Shelby Richardson comes to the plate to face Overton, a right-hander. Can she get a run home? The pitch fouled off. I think ran off the mask of the catcher as well. Looked like it went off the mask of Megan Kearns. Back up into the netting here that protects the press box at the Killian softball complex. So Overton, a count of 0-1 now to Richardson. She fires that one right to third base, and the force out is there. And just that quickly, the rally is over. Pleasant Hope got 2 singles from Haley Hillenberg and Madeline Freeman, but they leave both runners on base, and we remain scoreless after 2 in the Class 2 championship game between Brookfield and Pleasant Hope. Softball fans, don't forget that teaching our students to be better citizens is the goal of all high school sports and activities. The Missouri State High School Activities Association reminds everyone that everybody who participates is a winner. Being here this weekend makes your team the envy of other softball programs around the state. Do your part to give respect and get respect by being good sports and showing respect during today's game. So the Brookfield Lady Bulldogs coming in today with a record of 26-5. This is their 3rd championship appearance. They have never won a state title in softball, but that can all change today as we've got a scoreless game through 2 here in Springfield. Brookfield enjoying an 8-game winning streak as they come in today. Pleasant Hope, their pitcher, Sarah Sigismund, and the rest of the infield warming up here. We're about ready to get back to it. Brookfield will be back to the top of their order. Elisa Frey will lead it off, followed by Bailey Parks and Alexis Lindsay. So the top of the 3rd inning is ready to get started, and so are we. Number 1, the center fielder, Elisa Frey, steps to the plate. She popped out to the second baseman in her first trip to the plate. Will she have a better trip here? Sigismund turns, fires. That shot knocked out into left field. It looks like it's over the head of the left fielder. It's going to go to the wall. She digs for 2 now. Here comes the throw into second base. And Alexis Fry has a leadoff double for the Lady Bulldogs. She got all of that one as she took it to the wall in left field over the head of the Pleasant Hope left fielder. And that was able to get down, and a leadoff double gets us started here in the 3rd. Bailey Parks now, the left fielder, comes up to the plate. Called time here. Sigismund stands on the rubber, waiting. She gets her signal and delivers to Parks. That pitch, a slap bunt down the third base line. Can they get the throw up first? No, they don't. They advance the runner to the third. The throw is not in time. So a single by Parks gets her to first. Elisa Frey advances to third, and now it's runners at the corners, nobody out for Alexis Lindsay. Alexis Lindsay, the third baseman, a 5'4" junior, batted .274. She's got 2 home runs this year, so she hits for power. The wind that was so evident in the Class 1 state championship has almost gone away. There's a bunt. Back to the pitcher's mound. She looks back, the runner at third, but doesn't make the throw. So Sigismund keeps the runner from advancing from third, but now has the bases loaded. Basically on a fielder's choice, she could have gone to first, could have come home. She looked back the runner at third, Frey, but then didn't deliver to get Alexis Lindsay out at first. So now 3 on, and we're going to have time called. Looks like Jim Flores is going to come out and talk to his pitcher in his infield. So a double and 2 singles now by Frey, Parks, and Lindsay. Have the bases loaded, nobody out, and coming to the plate will be Natalie Wheeler. Wheeler, number 11, the shortstop, a 5-foot senior. She bats .356 over the course of the year. 19 RBIs and 1 home run. No wind to help with that here today, as the wind's blowing in just a little bit now from the outfield. And home plate umpire Bob Power is going to break up the meeting in the circle. We'll get back to business here. A big opportunity for the Lady Bulldogs. The bases are loaded, nobody out. And here comes Natalie Wheeler. Pleasant Hope ready after their meeting. There's the pitch. High ball for the first one. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. Sigismund's got to place this one well here against Wheeler. Wheeler digs back in, the bat on her shoulder. Sigismund rocks and fires. That one a one-hopper in the dirt. Nobody moves, though. Sigismund comes to cover. Home plate as her catcher goes back for the ball. So, big opportunity for Brookfield. Bases loaded. Sigismund fires again. That pitch inside. Ball 3 now. And Sigismund in trouble here. The base is loaded, and she's run the count 3-0 to Wheeler. So here it comes. The 3-0 count. There's a pitch right down the middle for a called strike. Natalie Wheeler waiting all the way that time after 3 straight balls. So 3-1 the count now, nobody out. Bases juiced. Sigismund turns, spins. There's one pulled down the third base line, foul. And they've worked the count full now, 3-2 between Sigismund and the hitter, Natalie Wheeler. Sigismund could help her own cause here with the strikeout of Wheeler. She rocks and fires, and that one's pulled foul. Sigismund has struck out Parks and Weidert for 2 strikeouts on the day. A third one here would go a long way. The foul off by Wheeler leaves the count at 3-2. Still, bases loaded, nobody out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Wheeler takes her time, digging back in here. The wind and the pitch is another foul. Wheeler continues to foul off the offerings from Sarah Sigismund.
Big crowd on hand on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon here at Springfield's Killian softball complex.
So, Sigismund throws it home one more time and is going to walk in a run. That pitch in the dirt. The first walk today issued by Sigismund, and that's going to walk in the first run of the day. So now coming to the plate, the catcher, Megan Kearns. Brookfield the first on the scoreboard today, getting a 1 run here in the top of the third, but nobody out. The bases are still loaded, and the Lady Bulldogs are looking for more. Sigismund rocks and fires, a strike called on the inside. She gets the count 0-1. Kearns, the catcher, steps back out of the box. Megan Kearns, a 5'5" sophomore, steps back in near the front of the batter's box. Sigismund rocks and fires. That pitch inside, a throwback down to third. Goes off the glove of the third baseman, and a run's going to score here. Everybody moves forward, and Brookfield gets their second run on a throwing error by the catcher. Catlin Evans tried to make a snap throw down the third base, and it wasn't handled. Went out into foul territory, and now it's 2-0 Brookfield. So now first base is open, still nobody out, and the count 1-1 to Ashley Kearns.
Nobody out, second and third. No balls and 2 strikes to Kearns. Here's the next.
There's one popped up and out of play. Megan Kearns continues to fight here, now down in the count 0-2. 2 runs scored in a very non-traditional fashion here in the third. The first run walked in, the second run on a throwing error from the catcher and the third baseman. Here's a pitch inside for a ball, 1-2 now the count. Sigismund wants another ball. So Megan Kearns steps back in, now the count 1-2. Runners at second and third. 3 hits so far in this inning. And there's a foul, a low fastball that time. On the inside, the pitch comes back out to Sarah Sigismund. Man, you have got to love this. It is a perfect day here in the Ozarks, and the Killian softball complex is packed with softball fans. Sigismund brings it home again, and another long foul ball out over the third base side. So the count remains 1-2. And it's obvious these Lady Bulldogs swing the bats extremely well. They don't watch pitches. They foul them off, and they get their money's worth. Here's another big-time foul ball all the way down to the left field foul territory. We'll keep it at 1-2. Sigismund trying to get out of the jam here. Another foul off by Megan Kearns, and there is no arguing the fact that these Bulldogs know how to stay alive, and even when they get behind in a count. Still 1-2 the count, still nobody out with the 2 runs here in the top of the third. Sigismund delivers to the plate, high and outside for a second ball. So 2-2 now the count to Kearns as she watches that one trail on the outside. In the on-deck circle, the pitcher, number 23, Samantha Overton. She popped out her last time up. Kearns now waits on Sigismund's delivery, rips it down to the third base line, and a foul again. It's going to be one of those days I wish I brought a pitch counter or something with me to see how many times these Bulldogs get here. Still 2-2 the count. Sigismund battling with Megan Kearns. There it is, a short one to third base. The throw to first is not handled, and the run's going to come home. Another error here in the inning, and it's going to lead to a third run. No, now a fourth run. She's safe. The throw was late from first. I don't think they thought the runner was going to come home, but she does, and now it's blown open. The Lady Bulldogs are up 4-0. There was a mishandled throw on this hit. You'll watch it again here. They pick it up, throw across to first. It goes underneath the glove of the first baseman. Then they struggle trying to get the ball. The runner at third comes home. They waited forever. Then they make the throw. Jim Power makes the call safe. Bob Power, pardon me. And so it's 4-0. A very eventful top of the third for the Lady Bulldogs. So now coming to the plate with the bases, well, with nobody out and a runner on second base, it's the pitcher, Samantha Overton. So Samantha Overton watches a ball come in from Sarah Sigismund. And she's talking to Coach Julie Reese. They're still battling here in the top of the third. 4 runs here in the top of the third for the Lady Bulldogs. That pitch also outside, so the count now 2-0. And Pleasant Hope so far unable to get an out here in this third inning. Runner at second base. Here it comes, a swing and a miss on the offering from Sigismund. So now the count 2-1. So we'll have to check with the official score, but I think a minimum of 3 errors so far in Pleasant Hope. There's a hot shot to third. The throw to first is in time. She's out. They bring it back across to third, but she slides in safely. So third to first on the out on Samantha Overton, but the runner advances to third base. So Kern slides in safely to third. Now the first out of the inning is finally in. Coming to the plate now is Ashley Kearns, and she's got an RBI single. She slaps it into center field, and it's 5-0 Brookfield. An RBI single for Ashley Kearns, and this inning just will not stop, and the wheels keep turning for the Lady Bulldogs. Sigismund gets back in the pitcher's circle. Runner at first, only 1 out, and coming to the plate now, number 10, the first baseman, Jacqueline Weidert. Weidert stepping in now looking for an RBI opportunity with a runner at first. Sigismund rocks and fires that ball outside, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out here in the top of the third that seems to be going on forever as the Lady Bulldogs continue to score. There's one fouled off the bat of Weidert, evens the count at 1-1. Standing down at first base is the second baseman, Ashley Kearns for Brookfield. The Lady Bulldogs just keep pouring on the runs here. They've knotted 5 here in the third. There's a pitch inside, running on the pitch that time was Kearns. She has to go back to first. The count's 2-1. Only 2 strikeouts so far for Sigismund. She could use a strikeout or a double play right here, bring this thing to a close. That pitch framed well by the catcher that time, but still outside. The count's 3-1. Catlin Evans really tried to frame that one. Didn't get the call she wanted, though. The count's 3-1. So Sigismund fires. That one's fouled off, and it's going to be out of play in a souvenir somewhere up here on the concourse along the third base side. So a new ball, and hey, they actually got them back. Thank you, fans, for giving those softballs back. They come back in. And here we go, Sigismund steps to the rubber, both feet on. She twists and delivers. That pitch knocked foul again and moving people in the Pleasant Hope dugout yet again as a couple of the young ladies up against the fence had to move in a hurry, and maybe one of our photoglyph photographers as well. So they've run the count full now, 3-2, 1 out, 1 on for the Lady Bulldogs. Jacqueline Weidert looking for the payoff pitch here, 3-2. Here it comes. She slaps that one to right field. Back for it. No, she lost it in the sun, and the ball's down. The runners advance. We'll have runners at second and third on a stand-up double for Jacqueline Weidert. Weidert knocked it over the head of the right fielder, Elizabeth Mosley, for a double. So runners at second and third, and still only 1 out for the Lady Bulldogs. As coming to the plate now is the right fielder, Paige Clausen. Clausen, a 5'5" junior. A strike called on the inside that time for Sigismund. Gets ahead in the count 0-1 now. Still only one out here in the top of the third. Clausen steps in and then steps back out. Sigismund is ready now. She turns, fires, that pitch high and outside. 1-1 the count now. Runners at second and third. Weidert at second. Ashley Kearns at third. Kearns had an RBI single and now stands on third base. Paige Clausen gets the sign, checks her armband, and here comes the pitch. 1-1 the count. She tries to lay down a bunt, fouls it off, so the count will be 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, only one out here in the top of the third inning. And we've been in it for a while here. 5 runs plated by the Lady Bulldogs. 3 errors committed by Pleasant Hope. And will this be the inning that decides today's Class II state championship? There's a swing and a miss. There's the second out of the inning as Clausen goes down swinging. The third strikeout of the day for Sarah Sigismund. And Elisa Frey comes back up. She had a double to get this all started here in the top of the third. She's going to start again. Pleasant Hope now with 2 outs, though, as Frey steps back in. The center fielder popped out in the first inning and got a double to start this off. That shot back up through the pitcher's circle. 1 run will score. They may have Weidert in a rundown, and they do, and she goes out. So 6 runs end up being scored, and 1 left on base. Probably 4 errors when it's all said and done on Pleasant Hope, and a wild top half of the third inning. As Frey had batted around in that inning, came back up again. That time was able to make good contact. The runner at third gets an RBI. The runner at third gets caught in a rundown. That was Weidert. She ends up tagged out, so finally Pleasant Hope gets out of that half of the inning. The score is 6-0 here in Springfield. Brookfield all over Pleasant Hope, who will come up to bat now here in the bottom of the third. The weather has made a complete 180 here in Springfield from yesterday to today. It was cold, overcast, cloudy, and barely 50 degrees yesterday. Today, everybody is dancing in the stands at the Killian softball complex. They're throwing T-shirts, and everybody is having a good time, except maybe right now for the Lady Pirates, who are now down 6-0 to the Brookfield Lady Dogs. See if they can mount a comeback here in their half of the third inning. So coming to the plate now here in the bottom of the third for the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates will be number 2, Corey Hillenberg. Corey Hillenberg, the second baseman, looks at a strike throw from Sarah Overton. And Overton's teammates stake her to a 6-0 lead here. A huge number in this Class II state championship. Hillenberg pops one up. Will anyone make a grab on it? Wow! Look at Overton. From the pitcher circle all the way to home plate, and she makes the grab. The pop out to the pitcher unassisted. What a great play by Overton to get all the way from the circle to right in front of home plate, and she makes the grab 1 away here in the bottom of the third. Now in is Carrie Hillenberg, the shortstop. Oh, nice grab by Overton. Here she is. The right-hander throws it in. That'll be a ball called just low on the outside of the plate. Carrie Hillenberg wearing number 1, the shortstop. She had a single her first time up. That time she gets brushed back. That pitch high and inside that time put Hillenberg back, not wanting to make contact between her face mask and that pitch. So 2 balls, no strikes. The count, 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Hillenberg fights one off there. Don't think there's a play on it, and there's not. The first baseman tried to make a play. Jacqueline Weidert unable to get there from her position at first. So 2-1 the count now. 1 out here in the bottom half of the third inning. Corey Hillenberg steps back in now. Hillenberg, a sophomore, 5'2", bats over 430. They could use a hit here, and she gets one right over Sarah Overton's head and into center field. The second single of the day for Corey Hillenberg. Or Carrie Hillenberg, pardon me. Now stepping up for Pleasant Hope, number 7, Haley Richardson. So a runner at first now and only one out. Overton fires. There's a shot to the shortstop, to second. The throw to first is in time, a double play. What a great executed play. The shortstop catches, steps on the bag at second, and makes the throw to first to get the out. 6-3. We're through 3 innings here at the Killian Softball Complex, and it's been all Brookfield as they lead this one over Pleasant Hope 6-0. As you see the double play there, turned by the Brookfield Lady Bulldogs. A great job by Natalie Wheeler to be able to turn that double play and get out of the inning. Sarah Overton with a nice piece of fielding got the first out, and then the double play, and we move to the top of the 4th. An exciting start to this Class 2 championship game. Don't forget, the Missouri State High School Activities Association wants to thank their friends at the Springfield Convention and Visitors Bureau and the Springfield Greene County Park Board for all their help in putting on this year's 2012 Softball State Championships. These championships will remain here at the Killian Softball Complex in Springfield through 2015. And if the games and the turnout are any indication, it could be here for quite some time. A great event going on here in Southwest Missouri on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. This is game 2 of 4 here on MSHSAA.TV. Let's get back to it in the top of the 4th. Brookfield back up to the plate, starting off for the Lady Bulldogs, number 4, Haley Parks. Parks clips one down the third base line, and what a nice move. A great play by the shortstop, coming over that time and getting the out. Parks slaps one over there, and what a running play that time. Getting all the way over there was Carrie Hillenberg. Here's Sigismund pitching now to Alexis Lindsay. Her first pitch swung on and a strike, so 0-1 the count, 1 out after Parks' 1 pitch at bat prior to this. So Sigismund now fires, strike 2. Sigismund fastball on the move that time, and Alexis Lindsay was behind it. Lindsay has a single in the first, a single in the third. This her third plate appearance as we're in the top of the 4th inning here in Springfield. Sigismund fires. That one popped up over the pitcher's head, quickly caught again by Hillenberg. And Hillenberg has now accounted for the first 2 outs of the top of the 4th. So 6 unassisted in back-to-back plays now. And coming up to the plate is the shortstop, number 11, Natalie Wheeler. So 2 outs, bases empty, and Sigismund goes back to work here. She turns and releases. That's a strike right through the heart of the plate. 0-1 now the count. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Wheeler looks for the signs down the third base line from her coach, Julie Reese. Sigismund now fires and a foul ball, tipped off and back into the netting. So the count remains at 0-2. Pleasant Hope could definitely use a 3-up, 3-down inning here after the tumultuous top of the 3rd that has staked them to this 6-run deficit behind Brookfield. A number of errors in that inning, a lot of those runs unearned. So 0-2 the count now to Wheeler. Sigismund fires it home. That one shot over her head and into center field, and Wheeler will have a single. After she was down in the count 0-2, a big hit for Natalie Wheeler. So Wheeler now, she got a single and walked in the 3rd, and now a single here, and a little bit of Something going on here for Brookfield with 2 outs. They've got a runner at first, Natalie Wheeler. Coming to the plate now, the catcher, number 9, Megan Kearns. Kearns had a double on her last plate appearance. Sigismund fires, and that one will be fouled off. So 0-1 the count to Megan Kearns, the catcher. 2 out. Runner on at first base is Wheeler. Here's a shot over the head of the shortstop. Hillenberg can't bring it in. Wheeler stops at second. The throw comes back in, and it's another single. Back-to-back singles now for Brookfield as Megan Kern reaches. So 2 singles, 1 from Wheeler and 1 from Kearns, and now with a chance to add to her already 6-run lead, the pitcher, Samantha Overton, comes to the plate. Courtesy runner now on. I believe it's number 2, Sydney Thompson. So it is yep. Courtesy runner on at first now. So here we go. Sigismund rocks and fires, and a foul ball is hit all the way down the left field line and out of play. So Overton at the dish. There's 2 outs. She's down 0-1 in the count. Runners at first and second. Brookfield already has a 6-0 lead. Can they add to it here with 2 outs? Sigismund deals. Fastball down the middle, but low. So 1-1 the count now to Overton. Overton popped out in her first plate appearance and then grounded out in her second. Can she make something happen here and add to the Bulldog lead? That pitch outside, so 2 balls and a strike now. Good eye by Overton. So the pitcher steps back in. And Sigismund now twists, turns, and fires. That's a 1-hopper in. Runners don't get to advance. Up quickly with it, Catlin Evans, the catcher. Sammy Overton. Run the count to 3-1 now against Sigismund. She deals. Here comes the pitch, and that one is blasted down the line, foul. Oh, man, she put a charge into that one, and it just went foul. That one probably would have cleared the bases for Overton. That one probably a 2 RBI shot that goes just foul there at the end. Hard to see that corner from our position here in the press box. So the count is full now, 3-2. 2 outs, runners at first and second. Sigismund deals to Overton. The pitch is outside, and she walks the bases loaded. So the second walk of the day for Sarah Sigismund. The senior issues her second walk, and now the base is loaded, and coming up is Ashley Kearns, the second baseman. She already has an RBI. Looks like we might have another courtesy runner here as well. Courtesy runner for Overton is number 7, Brittany Magnuson, a 5'6" senior. She comes in to run for Overton. So Kearns, the second baseman, she's got the bases loaded. Looks at a ball on the first pitch from Sigismund. Here comes the pitch. 1-0 the count. That one shot foul down the first base line. So everybody will move back. It's 1-1 now the count with 2 outs. Bases loaded to Ashley Kearns. Kearns, the senior, slaps one to third base. The throw is high but good. And that time Pleasant Hope able to end the rally. They keep the score at 6-0, but Brookfield is in charge, staked to that 6-0 lead. After Kearns grounds out to the third baseman, the throw over to the first is in time, and that'll bring a close their half of the 4th inning. So Pleasant Hope needing to score some runs here, down 6-0. team that hit so well over the course of the season for Jim Flora. They batted over 417 over the course of the year. They had wins against bigger schools. They went and beat schools like Kickapoo and Branson here in the Ozarks area. Pleasant Hope a record of 27-2. Was here in this state championship game a year ago. These young ladies are experienced. They know what it takes to get here. They've made the trip back, but now can they come back from a 6-0 deficit as we reach the halfway point here in this Class 2 state championship game in Springfield. Looks like Sarah Overton will step back into the pitcher's circle for the Lady Bulldogs. Remind everybody that Photoglyph is the official photographer of the MSHSAA Championships. You can order your official team photos, candid shots, and souvenirs by completing the order form in today's program or visit them online at photoglyph.com. Let's get the bottom half of the fourth inning underway. Stepping in for the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates is number 4, Elizabeth Mosley. So Mosley has to duck out of the way. That pitch high and inside that time from Overton. She'll start with a 1-0 count. Elizabeth Mosley, the right fielder, steps in, gets the bat off her shoulder, waits the delivery from Overton. She swings, bounces one back to the pitcher, underhanded throw, no good, goes into the outfield, and we're going to get a double out of this on a throwing error. Mishandled by the first baseman that time. So Mosley's going to get to second base. But an easy ground ball to Overton that was mishandled between the pitcher and the first baseman. You see it there on the replay, just a hard toss that time that didn't necessarily need to be. Jacqueline Weidert unable to handle it. So Overton will have to get back to work here against Sigismund. And Sigismund would love to help her own cause with a bat in her hand. She pops that one foul, falls behind in the count 0-1. So you end up with a runner on second. That's Mosley. Nobody out, and an 0-1 count to Sarah Sigismund, the senior pitcher from Pleasant Hope. Sigismund now waits for it and puts a charge into one. Barely going to get out of the outfield. The third baseman is underneath it, and she's got it. Alexis Lindsay makes the play. That's the first out here in the bottom of the fourth. So pop out to the third baseman for Sigismund. Will now bring number 27, the designated player, Lindsay Van Tassel. Lindsay steps to the plate now. Swing and a miss on a strike from Overton that time. Van Tassel, a 5'7" senior, batted .368 on the season. No home runs, but 14 RBIs coming in to the postseason. Overton now 0-1 the count. Drive down the third base line will end up foul. Mosley still stands at second base. One out, a runner at second base now for Van Tassel. The DP comes back into the box. Overton now winds, comes home. There's a strike out for Sarah Overton. That fastball blew by Lindsay Van Tassel. That's the second strikeout of the day for Sarah Overton. The third strikeout of the day for Overton. She struck out Van Tassel in both of her plate appearances. So now 2 outs, a runner at second for Haley Hillenberg. Hillenberg looks at a strike on the outside corner. Hillenberg, her last plate appearance in the second inning, got a single. So 0-1 the count now. 2 outs and a runner at second. Hillenberg looks at one that just missed on the outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Sarah Overton now back to work. She deals. That one low and inside. Move the count to 2 balls and a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning in Springfield. A Class 2 state championship on the line here between Brookfield and Pleasant Hope. That pitch on the corner for a strike. That outside corner has worked well for Overton today. She delivers. 2-2 the count. 2 outs and a runner at second. Here we go. The pitch to Hillenberg. She watches it go by. That's a ball. So the count now full 3-2. So Haley Hillenberg, the first baseman for Pleasant Hope. Picks the bat up off her shoulder, stares out at Overton. Overton comes, sets, and delivers. There's a swing and a miss, and a strikeout ends the inning. Back-to-back big-time strikeouts for Sarah Overton. Pleasant Hope leaves a runner on base. About the fifth runner they've stranded on base today, and we've reached the end of 4. Pleasant Hope still looking up at the Brookfield Lady Bulldogs. They're in control of this Class 2 championship, 6-0. Brookfield ready to get started here in the top of the 5th inning. They'll send to the plate number 10, Jacqueline Weidert. Sarah Sigismund still on the pitcher's circle for Pleasant Hope. So Weidert comes to the plate. She had a double her last plate appearance. Sigismund sets, fires. That's high for ball 1. So 1-0 the count now to Weidert, the first baseman. She struck out in the second, got a double in the third. This pitch low and inside for a second ball. So 2-0 the count now to Weidert. Great moment here earlier today. The folks from MSHSAA recognizing a number of people over today. And there's a shot out to center field. Does she have it? Yes, she does. The first out of the inning for Pleasant Hope, grabbed by the center fielder, Madeline Freeman. Freeman fields her position well. The pop out by Weidert will bring up the right fielder, number 3, Paige Clausen. Earlier today, MSHSAA was recognizing people. One of those gentlemen was Tim Doss, a great softball official. Tim was recognized as the Missouri's Softball Official of the Year. So our congratulations to Tim. He's from my neck of the woods down around the Webb City Joplin area. Here's a pop-up to third baseman and out recorded. Quick second pop-out now. Paige Clausen pops out to third, so back-to-back pop-outs. Here and now coming to the plate for the Lady Bulldogs is Elisa Frey. So Frey now at the dish. Sigismund comes home. Strike called. So 2 outs. Nobody on. And an 0-1 count facing the center fielder for Brookfield, Elisa Frey. Sigismund winds and fires. That one's hit down the third base side. It's gloved, thrown across the first. It's in time. And Pleasant Hope is able to get out of the inning. They go quickly in that inning. Down goes Brookfield, and Pleasant Hope will come back to bat in their half of the 5th inning. Score 6-0. Brookfield Lady Bulldogs over the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates. Don't forget, softball fans, that MSHSAA and When We Were Young Productions are proud to introduce MSHSAA.TV, a website devoted to video of MSHSAA events. All championship games from this year's championship will be available to watch. Be sure to check them out on MSHSAA.TV. Hopefully that's what you're watching right now. Corey Riggs and our Niles Media Group crew here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri today. Game 2 of 4, a quadruple header of softball championships today here at the Missouri State High School Activities Association Softball State Championships. We get ready to go to bottom of the fifth. Pleasant Hope batting here, trailing 6-0. And here we go. Overton fires and a bunt's laid down by Madeline Freeman. She runs and makes it in time. A well-executed bunt by Madeline Freeman, and the leadoff runner is on for the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates. Nice call that time by Jim Flora, A leadoff bunt, perfectly executed toward the third base side, and a quick runner. Madeline Freeman makes it to first. So here we go. Overton sets and fires in a strike as she faces off against Caitlin Evans. Evans popped out in the first inning. Popped out to the first baseman. Here, second pitch now coming. That one a little low. Count now 1-1 strike. Nobody out. A runner at first for Pleasant Hope and Caitlin Evans. Overton from the pitch. That one, a second ball, 2 balls and 1 strike now as that was high and outside. Pleasant Hope really needs to get a couple crooked numbers on the board here in the 5th inning as they're starting to run out of time in the Class 2 championship. That pitch outside, a swing and a miss though, makes the count 2-2 as Evans went chasing. A nice pitch by Overton. Does she have one more? She spins and fires. There, a bunt laid down. Overton fields it. The throw to first. No, she's safe. They dropped it at first base. A bunt by Evans, and it's mishandled at first base by Jacqueline Wider. And so now runners at first and second, nobody out, and Pleasant Hope is threatening to try and climb back into this one. So a quick meeting inside the pitcher circle for the Lady Bulldogs. That was a big play for Pleasant Hope to be able to get 2 runners on now with nobody out. That's going to bring to the plate Corey Hillenberg, the second baseman. Hillenberg batted .438 on the season. She had a home run and over 23 RBIs coming into the postseason. What can she do here? She watches the ball race on the inside. Want to know the count. Runners at first and second. Madeline Freeman stands at second. Caitlin Evans at first. Here it is, a pitch straight down Main Street for a called strike. Hillenberg looking that time. Now she steps back out of the box. 1-1 the count. Nobody out, runners at first and second. Overton now deals. There's a pitch, popped up foul. The catcher's going to have a play on it, and she makes it. A great play by Megan Kearns, the catcher. That one went high up into the sky. Took a long time to come down. Kearns able to put the glove to it. So they get their first out of the inning now. Runner still at first and second. Coming to the plate is Carrie Hillenberg. Hillenberg, the left-hander, slaps one down the left field line, foul. Hillenberg coming around a little late on that offering from Sarah Overton, and they take their time getting the ball back into their pitcher. Overton comes back to the rubber now. She looks in for her signal. Hillenberg is set, and here we go. It's no 1 count with 1 out. There's one knocked over the head of the second baseman, and that's out into the outfield. Runners coming around the horn. 1 will score. The pitch coming in hits that punter on the back. 2 runs will score, and Pleasant Hope has gotten back into this ballgame. A RBI triple by Carrie Hillenberg. 2 RBIs for the shortstop, Carrie Hillenberg. And I'm afraid Chuck Snow got hit in the back by that throw back into the infield, and we're going to have another meeting inside the pitcher's circle by the Lady Bulldogs. This time, Coach Reese has come out there, Julie Reese, out to talk to her girls, try to settle them down here. It's 6-2, 2 runs so far in this inning. Now a runner in scoring position. Hillenberg is at third base with 1 out. Coming to the plate will be Haley Richardson, the third baseman. She got a single in her first at bat and then grounded out in her second at bat back in the third inning. The Pleasant Hope fans wearing their black and gold Final Four shirts are Pirates. Overton now ready. Here's the delivery. That pitch inside for a ball. Haley Richardson had to buckle her knees just a little bit to get out of the way of that one. She steps out of the box. Hillenberg stands at third base. 1-0 the count. One out. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch that just kind of ran off the plate that time. Richardson. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Overton shakes off a sign, comes set now. Here's the pitch. That one knocked to the shortstop. She's going to go to first with it. The catch is made, but the run scores. So now the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates have plated 3 here as the sacrifice gets the runner home. It's a 3-run inning so far for the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates. Now the bases are empty for Elizabeth Mosley, the senior right fielder. She'll step in here. They've cut the deficit in half. It's 6-3 Brookfield. That pitch inside for a ball. Elizabeth Mosley popped out her first time up, had a double in her second at bat. This her third at bat of this Class 2 state championship. Overton, the offering. It's drilled just underneath the glove of the second baseman, and Pleasant Hope still isn't done here in the 5th as they've got a base runner with 2 outs. Mosley with the single to the outfield, and here comes Sarah Sigismund, the pitcher. Sarah Sigismund, a chance to get her team back in this one as you see the ball go under the outstretched hand of the second baseman. That was Ashley Kearns. Sigismund now steps into the batter's box. Overton rocks and fires, and there's a blast to right field. Sigismund gets a hold of one. The runner goes to third, and she'll hold up there. So now runners at the corners. A single for Sigismund, and Pleasant Hope is hoping to have the same sort of inning that Brookfield did back in the 3rd. Brookfield put 6 up in the top of the 3rd, and now the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates have 3 of their own here in the bottom of the 5th with a chance to get some more. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. And coming to the plate is number 27, the designated player, Lindsay Van Tassel. Pleasant Hope fans on their feet. Overton fires. Pitch on the inside, a called strike. Overton with a big pitch there to get ahead in the count early. Standing on deck now, number 12, Haley Hillenberg, the first baseman. Van Tassel steps in now. Overton delivers. That one popped up foul right at the press box and nearly upon a window. That one comes back toward the press box. The count now 0-2. Van Tassel, only 1 strike left here if she wants to keep the rally going for the Lady Pirates. Overton's 0-2 pitch inside for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at first and third. Sigismund stands at first. Mosley over at third. Tassel now, the delivery. She hits it to the shortstop. Where's she going to go with it? The throw to first is not in time, and a run scores. Sigismund's going to advance to third. Will she come home? No. Another throwing error on the shortstop. The throw to first not there. And oh my goodness, the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates have something going on here. 4 runs now, and half of them with 2 outs. So a courtesy runner now. Lindsay Van Tassel is going to run out. Checking in to run for her is going to be number 5, Shelby Richardson. So Richardson takes over at first. Sigismund stands at third base, still 2 outs, and now at the plate, it's number 12, Haley Hillenberg, and we're going to have another meeting inside the pitcher's circle for the Lady Bulldogs. The Pleasant Hope partisan crowd making some noise now as Hillenberg takes some practice swings just to the left of the batter's box. They break up their meeting now. Can the Lady Bulldogs get out of this inning with any more damage? Runner in scoring position. Runners at the corners first and third. 2 outs. Hillenberg steps in. Overton now rocks and fires. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Hillenberg had a hit in the second inning, struck out back in the 4th. She steps in now. A hit here could make this a one-run game, and time is called. Now ball power. Sets it. Here it comes. That pitch on the inside, dropped by Kearns. Ball will be called. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the 5th. 2 big innings have been the story of this Class 2 state championship. When the Lady Bulldogs wrapped up their half of the 3rd inning, they had a 6-0 lead. Now, the Lady Pirates are coming back. There's a great pitch by Overton. Strike called on the inside corner. She's ahead of the count now, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Haley Hillenberg, the first baseman, trying to get another run for the Lady Pirates. Here's the pitch. A swing popped up and out of play. Pleasant Hope hasn't fouled off nearly as many pitches today as the Lady Bulldogs, who seem to make Sarah Sigismund work for it a lot in the first couple of innings. That has changed now after a couple of scoreless innings. Overton now ahead in the count. She fires. That one a little low that time. Runs the count to 2-2. So Hillenberg steps out and gets the call from Jim Flora. Flora makes the call and she steps back in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at the corner for Pleasant Hope. Here's the pitch. She hits it to third base. The throw to first. It's been dangerous all day, but they get that one. So Pleasant Hope makes a game of it. 4 big runs. They strand 2 base runners here at the end of the 5th, but the Lady Bulldogs hold on to their lead as they are ahead 6-4 in this Class 2 championship game, and we move to the 6th inning. At the conclusion of this game, we'll take about another 30 or 45-minute break, and we'll come back with the Class 3 championship game. That will feature Centralia and Green Valley. But before we get there, we've got 2 innings to decide the Class 2 state championship between Pleasant Hope and Brookfield, and it has been a good one. 6-4, the Brookfield Lady Dogs on top of the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates in Brookfield's half of the inning here, and Sarah Sigismund will go back to the mound for the Pleasant Hope Lady Pirates. It's been feast or famine in this game. Scoreless first inning, scoreless second inning for both teams. Then in the top of the 3rd, Brookfield blew it open with a 6-run inning. No score in the 4th inning, and then in the bottom of the 5th, Pleasant Hope starts climbing the mountain. They grab 4 in the bottom of the 5th. As we move to the top of the 6th inning, Brookfield 6, Pleasant Hope 4. So as we get started here in the 6th inning, it'll be Bailey Parks to lead it off for Brookfield. She slaps one right into the glove of the first baseman, and that's a quick 1-pitch out for Sarah Sigismund. Just what the Lady Pirates need. Bailey Parks, the left fielder, struck out in her first at-bat. That time she popped out to the first baseman. So now coming up, the third baseman, Alexis Lindsay. Lindsay had 2 singles, then popped out in her last at-bat. Lindsay now eyes a ball that just catches the outside corner for a called strike. So Sigismund ahead in the count, 0-1 now, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. A 1-2-3 inning would go a long way for the Lady Pirates. That ball is fouled off, and just like that, Alexis Lindsay's in the hole, 0-2. The third baseman for the Brookfield Lady Bulldogs. That inning has really changed the complexion of this game. Lady Pirates playing with a lot of confidence. There's a shot into left field. It's going to get down, and after getting an 0-2 count against her, Alexis Lindsay comes up with a big-time single. So she gets safely to first base, and coming up now is the shortstop, Natalie Wheeler. Wheeler's been on base all 3 of her at-bats. She had a single, walked, and then had another single in the 4th. So, Sigismund sets and fires. That one's bunted foul for strike 1. 6-4 the score. 1 out, 1 on here in the Brookfield half of the 6th inning. Wind now blowing in from straight center field. The sun is straight above our heads on a clear day here in Springfield. Sigismund now delivers. There's a shot at the second baseman. She can't make a play on it. The runner stops at second and first. They won't advance after the second baseman knocked it down. The ball knocked down that time by Corey Hillenberg, but she was unable to make a play on it. So back-to-back singles now have the Lady Bulldogs back in business. Runners at first and second now, one out. Coming to the plate, the catcher, Megan Kearns. Sigismund delivers. Ball outside called. So 1-0 the count to Kearns. Megan Kearns has had a double and a single her last two plate appearances, so she has been swinging the bat extremely well here in the middle of this game. 1-0 the count. Sigismund turns, releases. That ball shot foul again. So the count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the top of the 6th. Runners at first and second. The third baseman, Alexis Lindsay, stands at second. Natalie Wheeler stands at first. And here comes the 1-1 pitch to Kearns. It caught the outside corner for a called strike. Sarah Sigismund, the senior, could use a strikeout here. She's had 3 strikeouts on the day, and she gets one there. A pitch outside draws Megan Kearns to swing, and that's the 4th strikeout of the day for the senior Sigismund. So a big out. There's 2 outs now in the inning, and stepping back in is the pitcher, Sammy Overton. Overton now trying to help her own cause with a bat in her hand. Looks at a strike called. Overton hasn't been extremely successful at the plate today. She did walk in her last plate appearance, but had a pop out and a ground out in her 2 prior trips to the plate. That pitch on the outside makes the count 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here. Runners at first and second. Pleasant Hope not wanting to let any of these runs across. See as how they just trimmed the lead to 2 runs, but it looks like it might here. The shot to left field, and what a great throw back in by the left fielder. Outstanding play that time as they bring the ball back in and stop it so the bases are loaded thanks to the heady throw back in. So, Sarah Sigismund now has got some work to do. She's got the bases loaded and 2 outs as she gets ready to face Ashley Kearns. They will bring in a courtesy runner for Sarah Overton. That'll be number 7, Brittany Magnuson, the second time she's been in as a courtesy runner for Overton. So 2 outs, bases loaded, and here comes Sigismund. Her pitch inside,